And now that he's being placed with his father, um, he again committed the same offense.
All right, so this is what I don't understand. We had, and correct me if I'm wrong, everyone, we had a long hearing over this case by Zoom with the persons who are actually at the Round Rock facility. And they informed the court that he would be staying in a group home, but the group home that he would be staying in would be age appropriate for him because they have some people in the group home who were younger and some people who were older. So there was a tight window of the persons who could be in the group home with him. And I was told by the person who testified that he was going to be in a group home, not in a foster care setting. Yes, if you could please unmute and start video. So we don't have the person from.
No, she has more information.
All right.
She may be able to provide a little bit more insight.
All right, we're going to go back on the record on 2020 CR 8296, State of Texas versus Noah Nellam. If we're going to have the parties re-announce, please, for the state.
Allie Jackson.
Defense.
Lindsay Shaw.
And are you Noah Nellam?
Yes, sir.
All right, we have the officer by Zoom. Any objection to Ms. Cardenas testifying by Zoom, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Cardenas, could
Yes.
you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Gloria Cardenas.
All right, does anyone have any questions for her, or is everyone okay with her testifying in narrative?
I'm fine with narrative, Your Honor.
All right, so we're here on Noah Nellam. I know that the court had ordered for him to be at the facility in Round Rock. Can you just tell us what is happening with him and why he wasn't in the facility in Round Rock?
So the facility in Round Rock has three options. One is group home living, foster care setting, or the individual's home. Previous to this individual home setting where he was placed with his father, he was placed in foster care setting with the foster mother, which he had previously also committed the offense of using unauthorized use of a vehicle. And now that he's being placed with his father, he again committed the same offense.
All right, so this is what I don't understand. We had, and correct me if I'm wrong, everyone, we had a long hearing over this case by Zoom with the persons who are actually at the Round Rock facility. And they informed the court that he would be staying in a group home, but the group home that he would be staying in would be age appropriate for him because they have some people in the group home who were younger and some people who were older. So there was a tight window of the persons who could be in the group home with him. And I was told by the person who testified that he was going to be in a group home, not in a foster care setting. And then now I'm hearing that he was with his father and not in a group home. So I don't understand. And that's what needs to be explained to me. Why wasn't he in the group home?
That is something I believe, Your Honor, that was brought upon by the group home itself. I don't know if it was the director or if they give the individual the option of maybe having him be placed in a foster care or an individual setting with a family member. That is something that is not done, or they didn't direct it towards or give me information on what was going to be set in place in regards to that.
Okay, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Any questions?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you so much for coming in. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to recall this case. Someone from that group home needs to be here because I didn't order him to be anywhere else but the group home. And now we're here. And I'm not going to revoke you because I said I wasn't going to revoke you. But now we're at the point, honestly, where you probably should be revoked because you keep doing the same thing over and over. And I know you come before me, and when we can go off the record, when you come before me, you come in with this, I don't know what's going on. That's the expression you try to give me. but yet you keep taking cars that don't belong to you and you don't follow the court's orders. So we're going to reset this, and somebody from that group home is going to be here to explain to me why you were not in the group home when they said that's where you would be. Why are they placing you in a foster home? Who knows why they're doing that? And then why are you being allowed to live with your father? And nobody got permission from the court for that to happen. And now we are here. So we're going to reset this, and I'm going to reset it for next week. Are you available?
Yes, Judge.
All right, we're going to reset it for next week. And is there any objection to me reaching out to that person from the group home in Round Rock to be here by Zoom?
No, Judge.
All right. Norma, can we reset this for next week? All right, so we're going to recall on the 30th. Officer Cardenas, are you able to be back here on the 30th?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and it can be by Zoom. Nobody objects to that?
No, Judge.
All right, so it'll be by Zoom, and I'm going to figure out the time. I'm going to try to call the group home today to see what time they can Zoom in, and then we'll call you and work around your schedule as well.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Have a seat.
Hi,
Okay.
Hi, thank you so much for being here.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is going to call 2020 CR 8296 State of Texas versus Noah Nelum. Could I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state defense?
Lindsay Shaw, personnel.
All right, we were here May 23rd. And I know the state had wanted to continue Mr. Nelum, as did the defense. I was swaying back and forth on that. So I asked that the persons at the home he was staying at be present. And so we have that person by Zoom. Both parties said that they would have no objection to the person appearing by Zoom, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Tammy, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
My name is Augustine Tamby, and the co-owner of the Mafu Home Health, where Mr. Nelum was staying.
All right, does anybody have any questions, or are you all okay with me asking questions?
You, Judge. Yes, Judge.
All right, so I have some questions. I don't understand why the reason changes were made and those changes were not approved by me. So my understanding is that he was staying at a foster home. Who placed him in the foster home and why?
So the program, which Mr. Nelum is, the home and community-based program, it's a program that is based on the individual's choice. We had Mr. Nelum in the group home, and while he was at the group home, his behavior was inconsistent with him living in the group home. So he made a choice that he wanted to live in a foster home where someone would then supervise him, a foster parent would supervise him. And even at that location also, he was not compliant because he was leaving the home unattended. He was given certain period when he's supposed to be home and he's not, getting back home at that time.
All right, so is he allowed to be in a group home? Do y'all have a group home for him? And if I allow him to be with y'all in a group home, if
Yes, we
you
do.
all, okay, he's not allowed to make choices of whether or not he is leaving the group home and going somewhere else. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So do you have a group home for him?
Yes, we do.
Are you willing to accept him back?
We're willing to accept him, but we'll recommend, if at all, he'll be sent to, because while he was at the group home, he had some problems with drugs, and we would like for him to go to a rehab facility prior to coming to the group home.
All right, do y'all have a rehab facility available for him or no?
We did give him some choices, and he refused to attend.
All right, so this is what's going to end up happening because both parties have agreed for him to remain on probation. He's going to go into inpatient treatment. And then after he finishes with inpatient treatment, will you all be able to pick him up?
Yes, ma'am, we'll
And
be able to
transport
do
him.
that. That's correct.
Probation, is there anything else?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you for coming in. Probation will be in touch with you when he's about to be released, and I'll put an order in that he's only to be released to a person from your facility.
That's correct.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to go off the record. Mr. Lamb,
Yes.
I want you to listen to me and listen to me clearly. You're doing this thing where, oh my gosh, let me look sad and downtrodden. That will only get you so far. It's not going to get you any further with this court anymore. The court considered your age. That is why the state offered you deferred for this case anyway. But if you are able to tell somebody you don't want to stay at a location, you want to stay somewhere else, then you're old enough to face real life consequences for your actions. If you're old enough to go out, find drugs, use drugs, or buy drugs, then you're able to suffer the consequences for your action. If you're able to take without permission the vehicle from your foster family, then you're old enough to deal with consequences. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do not come back to this court again for this nonsense. You had better fly straight and narrow. Otherwise, a motion to revoke is going to be entered. And all of this thing where people are feeling sorry for you, it's going to fall on deaf ears. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand what you're supposed to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you are going into an inpatient treatment facility for whatever drug issues you may have. And then once you complete that program, they're going to pick you up and you're going to be in their home. And you're not going to a foster home. You're going to be in that group home and you're going to follow their rules. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if you want to leave that home, guess what? You have to get permission from this court. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything else?
Not from defense, Judge.
All right, probation, what inpatient treatment do you want him in? All right, so I'll deny the motion, alter and amend conditions. And we can go back on the record. I'm going to deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include state ISF substantive track, and he's to be released upon completion to the MOFU home only. Is that MOEHU?
Yep. MAOFU.
MAOFU.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else?
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
Is there anything you don't understand about my instructions? All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Judge.
Thank you, ma'am.